You said that sometimes you fail, sometimes most times you fail, but you still sometimes you succeed.
Yeah.
Where did you fail, and what is your how was your response to that? What happened?
I think failures are,
An instance that you failed?
yeah, failures, I think, are an inevitable part of life. I think to fail is to be human. To be human is to fail. Um, I think there are two types of failures. One is failures that happen to you, things over which you have no control.
Okay.
And for me, the loss of my children, my girls, I lost two daughters, Tanya and Aisha, happened to me
Not failure.
in the sense that, failure of me as a father, as a parent,
Really?
of, well, that's how I perceive it. Um, but then also at work, there are many times you're battling against macro headwinds, change in consumer behaviors, consumer preferences. And I remember that one of my mentors told me that no matter how talented you are,
Mm.
gravity always wins. You know, you could be the most talented person in the world, but if the macros are not lined up in your favor, you're not going to win. So I think well, those things are outside your control. I mean, beyond a point, you can't control everything. So that's one type of failure. The other type of failure, which I think is more important, is self goals. Where you fail
If you want.
because of your own humanity or frailty as a human. And I think I have found that it's not your weaknesses, it is your strengths that trip you up. Strengths is what makes who you are, and strengths are also what actually trip you up. So I'll give you some examples. And every time I've failed big, it's been the shadow side of what makes me strong, ironically.
Got it.
So for example, I love people. And I think I connect with people. I love people. I enjoy meeting people. I love people. I love working with people. And whilst that is good because I can inspire and connect, you can imagine that if it is unchecked and it is done to an extreme, it can be very dysfunctional. So I may take too long to fire a person who needs to be fired because I fall in love with the guy. And I say, well, if I fire him, what will happen to his wife, his children, and this and that? And I'll take too long, which is not good. Or I love people, I believe people, and therefore I may not be in touch with reality as a CEO because I'm just believing what's being said to me, right?
Did it
So
happen to you? You tell me
of course, it happens.
what happened?
So you have, you're the CEO, you think business is going on in a certain way, but you lose touch with what is actually happening, or you may actually trust people to behave in a certain way who actually may not be aligned with being supportive to you, right? So I think the way around that, and this is applicable to everybody, if you look for yourself, whatever makes you strong is what's going to actually make you weak if it is unchecked. So what I therefore do is that, do I stop trusting people? No. Do I stop loving people? No, because that's who I am. But I know that there's the shadow side, so I will create some check and balance. So, for example, I will have truth tellers in my organization. And when I go to the stores, I go to the markets, I'll see people who I look in their eyes and I know that they'll never bullshit. So I'll tell them, will you be my truth teller? Give me your number and I will periodically call you and just tell me the way things are, So that's an example of holding yourself in check. Another one is that, I like to, uh, I'm fairly articulate, I have a point of view. And when you have positional authority as a CEO and you walk into a room and you have all this point of view and you want to talk and this and that, if you're not careful, you make the team intellectually lazy.
Mhm.
They say, yeah, this guy will come and he'll talk
He's
and
the
then
guy
he'll
getting
talk some more and then he's going to just tell us what to do. So may as well just shut up and just wait for him to finish. Why bother, right?
not leadership. That's not leadership.
That's not leadership at all. But, like talented leaders, if they're not careful, they can intimidate because they're more articulate and they have positional power. So again, I have learned that, do I stop being articulate? No. Do I stop having a point of view? No. But I have this magical metaphor that I carry in my pocket when I walk into a meeting. I have these three marbles in my pocket, metaphorically. And every time I speak, I think I'm giving up one marble. So if somebody in that team is talking about the color of the wall on the bathroom, then I ask myself, is it worth giving up my marble? Or should I just let them decide this very important thing about what color the bathroom wall should have, which in the past I would actually jump in and talk about, and because I'm enthusiastic about,
Everything.
most things. Or things like if you're leading a team, that you should actually sit back, speak last, allow people to talk. And a good meeting is when you don't say anything. So those are the moments when I think if I overdo it, I end up actually, making wrong decisions and therefore failing.
Many of your the companies that you talked about, you've been known to just land up at stores. And I remember your schedule. I once called up to make a meeting with you, and your secretary said that I don't know where he's going to be because you wouldn't tell anybody where you're going to go, but you would just land up somewhere.
Yeah.
And why would you do that? Is it because you didn't trust these stores? You want to get in touch with the ground reality? What is the
No, I
what
think
is you?
I think far from it. I think I really believe that I believe in being a servant leader. I believe in the inverted pyramid.
Yeah.
I believe that my job is actually to support and love those who are actually taking care of the eventual customer. And that if I love those who are serving the customers and they're happy, then the customers will be happy. So my job is to love the people in my company. And therefore, I have this, and my job is not to catch people out doing things wrong. That is for the operations leader and other people to do it. My job is on the chief inspiration officer. I want to go in and I want to just thank people and respect them and honor them and appreciate them for what they do every single day and make them feel that what they're doing is valuable and worthwhile. Deep inside, all of us as human beings want to be valued and appreciated. We want to know that what we do really matters. So my job is just that. Just go in there and say, tell me stories. Tell me about what happened. Okay, what did you do? How did you recover that customer? Or just sit and observe and say, I love the way you spoke to that customer. I love the way that you smiled at that little child that came with the grandfather. I love the way in which you took free cookies for that little, birthday treat that was happening there. I love it when you look at customers not as a traffic count, but as human beings who are coming into a cafe for a break from their day and are emotionally connecting with them. So I reward the moments that I want to see replicated in the organization. And I lead by example because I think eventually it is all a people's business. I really think that enterprises are nothing but a human experience in pursuit of creating enterprise value. It's humans working with humans. And therefore, I think as a leader, your job is to really connect and inspire people to go above and beyond, what they think they are capable of.